Guys, Jimmy here from Fatal Finish, part of the collective, sitting here in the Fatal Shed. We have Borgie with us from MDP.
How are we all? What's going on, bro?
Where have you come from, actually?
I've actually been up in Wollongong this weekend. Yeah.
What have you been doing?
Filmed a wedding, which is not really my deal. Definitely not my deal. But spent the weekend just out riding with the boys, sort of filmed some gnarly ghetto shit in an old abandoned hospital. It's going to be pretty cool. So just been hanging out up there. Bit of free time, but at the same time always making it happen.
Well, I guess after UBC and things like that, everyone's seen your head. They've seen all of us. Yeah. They probably know a lot more about us than they do about you. So give us a rundown on you. Like, how old are you?
I'm 30.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm nearly there.
30 years old. I'm from Melton, little town in Vico, just probably half an hour out of the city. What else? Yeah, I'm a filmer sort of dude. A little bit of like to get into things. Love the action.
Borgie does all our clothing. Obviously, like with Josh, myself, he does all of it. Top clothing, we've always had good results. And
try to
too hard. We
aim for quality. That's my biggest sort of thing. You know, there's a lot of shit out there these days. So as you'd know, wearing and going through brands, a lot of it's shit.
Jumping straight into shit now, I think about it. What did you think of UBC? Like that was probably one. Like you've come to a couple of burnout of things. Like we've been to summer nights and shit. Like, what did you think of just one day of just what? You know what I mean? It was a bit of a wild ride.
Good times. Like obviously in saying that too, like we had a good opportunity where we were and having that advantage and being like right on the sidelines, being in the action. But I think the venue itself puts you pretty close anyway. Like those spectators were right there anyway. Even if you're front row,
the atmosphere was welcoming straight off the bat.
Either way, like wherever you were in that venue, it was happening. Even those dudes up on that far hill, you could tell it was just a dope venue for a burnout comp, I think, or any sort of motorsport event. That Motorplex is a dope venue, I think.
And is that something you want to do more of with us, or did you have a big FMX background?
Background. So I'm sort of always come from that sort of moto scene. Definitely more FMX, but I think after that has its ups and downs. That scene's sort of gone a bit weird these days.
There's no comps anymore. Everyone's free riding.
It's very It's there. It's all gone back to the roots, which is good. I like that sort of style of it, but there isn't. The atmosphere is gone. It's real out in the backyard with the boys. There's 5 of us. We're all jamming. It's having a good time. That's what FMX is at the moment. I feel where the burnout scene now is almost in its pinnacle. You've got spectators, you've got like hard players, you've got dudes that are fucking willing to go hard
and spend big coin to get there, and you've got the promoters that are coming through that are doing promoters are stepping. This year I think they're going to America, or next year. You've got people, they're taking Oz cars to America. 100% agree that sort of the FMX thing has sort of died back and gone back to its roots of like where it come from, OG shit. And now the burnouts are but it'll only last for a few years. And then
everything has its
cycles.
It'll go up and it'll be at the pinnacle for a bit and it'll drop back down.
And especially being such an expensive sport, that is the biggest issue. Like owning a burnout car, competing, going to events, blowing engines, doing the whole lot, that is expensive.
But every hobby that is good enough will cost you. I've always, I've dabbled in all sorts of sort of, what would you call it, action sports. And if you get into anything, you're always going to spend money. So I guess you can still get a burnout car, do it cheaply. Work hard, get your car, get a dirty little fucking, Commodore, drop a bad girl in it and still go out there and have a fucking good time. Same as, if you want to just suddenly start riding dirt bikes, you're looking at fucking few grand to set up just to get a bike, gear, all that shit. So it does, then if you want to go ride a track, you got to pay for that shit. You're going to have to pay to enter a competition.
Or you got to have a mate that's got property, then you want to use ramps, and you got to do that.
There's always bits and pieces.
Injuries. Obviously, burnout cars, you don't have many injuries. Like you catch fire, you hit a wall or something. On a bike, everything. That's why I stopped riding. I didn't stop riding because I had other reasons, but now I look at what they're doing, and I'm like,
in saying that, putting it onto you, what's your riding deal? What did you like BMX here hard?
So I was sponsored BMX rider for a few years, and then I had all the stars behind me, had everything lined up, and I had a really big future ahead of me, and I got in with the wrong crowd, started screwing around with girls, and went down the wrong path and lost it all.
Yeah, that happens a lot.
And that's why
that scene did that a lot, to be honest.
It did, and I'll admit,
it's easy to happen.
I got caught up in everything of it. And then, I just started rocking around with the wrong people. And yes, playing around with girls and doing that shit and partying and that. And I'd party more on the road and started losing sponsors to things like that. And then I was sort of lost for a while because I didn't have a way to express myself. Because that was what it was. Same as owning a burnout car. People don't understand. People look at it and think you're just doing a skid, but it's not. It's that dude expressing themselves.
Yeah, that's them. That's
why everyone has a different style. You know, and that's why everyone's
totally, man. And it is, and that's what I think that's a good thing too. It's not the sort of industry that's like looked upon for being yourself. Like when people rock up in the burnout scene with some fucking gnarly, different weird car, but it's still got the go. Everyone's like, fuck yeah. It's not like, oh, look at this fucking weirdo. It's like level and everyone's cool. And like, I like that about that. Like, it's a good scene for that. Everyone's pretty, fuck yeah, dude. If you're having a go and you're doing it where like in the moto scene, and probably BMX might have ended up being the same. It became a lot more competition. There was a lot, back in the day, it was very like, oh, if we have a compound, you're not riding there. And to get into another dude's compound, like, fuck off, dude. You're not riding no cunt's compound.
If you're going to ride someone's compound, shovel. You're shoveling for the first 2 hours while everyone else is riding. You're sitting there, you're shoveling, and then...
well, not, but like, pushies probably, but on the moto side, man, it was just like, you need to work that shit up. You need to probably ride comps with this person, go out, hang out with them, and then they'll be like, yeah, come ride our joint.
100%.
Because at the time, it was like, because there was so much effort to put into building.
It was no different like riding pushes. You used to go to like different towns, so we'd travel a heap. I'd go with a heap of riders. I'm gonna rock up to different towns like that, have secret trails. You know what I mean? And you got to go there. You got to make up with the locals. Like, you know what I mean? You got to get in with them. And
go down to the skate park.
Oh, you know such and such. You know such and such. You start talking shit.
Prove yourself.
Like,
You've got to prove yourself too.
Pull your bike out. They'd sort of look at your bike and be like, right, it's not a Kmart special. Like, it's pretty.
He goes, all right.
It's pretty dialed. And then, you know what I mean? You'd start riding trails with them and that. And I guess that's why we're both lucky at what we're doing now. Because I never imagined I'd be doing this, but at the same time, I get to express myself and I'm getting paid for this. I wish that I had went the other route and stuck to all that and had that lifestyle. But at the same time, this is pretty rewarding. And you get to do the same thing. You just do clothing and travel, video and stuff, but you get to express your uniqueness, I guess would be the best way to explain yourself.
100% through like my brand and
so why did you stop riding and start getting into doing all the filming and things like that?
Injuries? Similar sort of thing. Like just, we were into it hard when we were young, and then that sort of 16, 17, 18 hit, you know, you start partying, your mates start getting licenses, it's like, fuck.
Women get involved, drugs, alcohol.
Fuck riding, man, this is sick, you know, like, I remember the early days
you get buckled on a Saturday and you wouldn't recover till a Tuesday, and then you couldn't be fucking riding.
100%, like the early days of riding, I remember like the Sundays, like we'd go out, youngsters out, house parties, all that sort of shit, and we'd come out, get shit-faced, come back on the Saturday. And I remember on the Sundays, we'd always rip, because we'd always be half cut still, not really, hungover as fuck. But then that just travelled into, we're not riding on a Sunday anymore, we're still partying.
And then people start getting jobs, moving out of home, doing all that shit. Life gets in the way.
Life does.
And some lucky dudes continue and go through. Some, don't.
I guess it's the push too. It's the ones that push to get through too, you know what I mean? It's that, you got to have that.
I think it's the ones who escape the bullshit.
Yeah.
And there's plenty of riders out there that have gotten huge and got caught up in the bullshit and then fallen off the map. If you're riding a push bike or a motorbike now and you're good, don't do drugs, alcohol, or talk to girls. That is about all I can say.
But at the same time,
enjoy yourself.
Have a good fucking time.
Enjoy yourself, but I know that you're going to get injured and it's going to suck. So enjoy what you're doing now or what?
Always, you always have, life is life and you're going to have your fucking hard times, and I think that's knowing that and the balance of it. It's knowing that you're going to have your fucking awesome times, but don't be surprised if the shit hits the fucking fan and you're just like, man, I'm a fucking wreck here right now. You know, and but it's keeping that balance and always knowing it. Like, but at the end of the day, and the way it's, especially over the last couple of years, everything's started really moving and everything's got more of a name for itself. Social media has sort of definitely
Social media had opened the gates for everyone. Years ago, we wouldn't have been able to do any of this.
So hard to do shit back in the day, you know what I mean? Like, it was, now there's so much more potential to sort of slide out there.
And people get noticed, you know what I mean? You can do one cool t-shirt design, smash it out there, people froth it, bam, you're on the net. Like, you know what I mean? And then things just graduate. Obviously it takes time and you've got to put the legs and the work in behind it.
Because at the same time, a lot with the internet so gnarly these days, everything can just be missed like that. Like
it is. And as you and me have spoken before, sometimes your time's here, your time might be here for 2 or 3 years and then bam, you're off the map.
Done.
So, and that's why within that 2-3 years, you've got to build a legacy, or not a legacy, but you've got to build a foundation that people will always want to be around and always support your shit.
It's that respect factor that it's like you're always going to be doing good, even if you're popping now, but even if it's not popping with all these, you know, your mainstream cunts.
Yeah.
There's still those real cunts that respect and know that whatever you're doing is going to be good work.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That's...
You've built a foundation from the start, and that's what people will just continue to go on.
Yeah.
In saying that, where do you want MDP to go?
Like, realistically, end process, it'd be pretty good to sort of make movies. I'd like to direct and be able to be in the position where I can...
Action movies, like general movies, like what type of movies?
I'm a bit of everywhere, but like my main thing would be some like action shit. Like, you know, I grew up watching fucking Blues Brothers and Mad Max and...
Oh, so you're talking that action, not even like sports action, like real action.
Like I'm
like
talking
life action.
Life action, yeah. Like I'm talking like movies that you go down to the cinema and watch.
Yeah.
Like blockbuster shit.
When did you know you wanted to do that, but?
That is weird, right? Because when I was younger, I was always very like, I want to have things to do with movies. I want to be fucking in them or on them or around them. I just love that shit. Even when I was younger, I'd be always watching behind the scenes shit, just be intrigued by it. Then got onto filming and sort of didn't click. That's why I was always into it. And then only a few years ago, I sort of took a step back, and when I did all my vlog and all that sort of thing, I realised that that's what I'd sort of been building up for my whole life. All this filming, all this...
The wheels are in motion, and you started doing that and you realised that this connects.
And now I'm sort of in that position and sort of just started watching a bunch of movies and realising, and going back and watching old movies that I used to froth and be like, fuck, like this is why I know
it makes you feel.
I'm right. Yeah, this is all right for me now, and like at the end of the day, like that's where I sort of want to take it.
And comment into that, where does the music side of things come from? Because a lot of people don't know that you actually have a lot of music influence. You did rapping and that for a bit.
Yeah.
You were caught up in some shit for a while and things like that. And I don't think there'd be a lot of, you'd have your diehard fans that know that, and then you'd have some people that have no fucking idea. Like, where did that come in on the whole line of it?
Well, I guess music is always...
Another form of expression.
Yeah, and I guess in just a basic sense, music's always been there for me.
Yeah.
So it resonates a lot with me. When it comes to my edits, it's always been a big part. You know, like I grew up watching your Krusties. It was raw footage with music. So
the song could make or break it.
100%. So like I sort of just pushed through the music on that, and I always really dug editing music footage to music and having it like on point and like really toeing in on that sort of shit and like crafting that. And I sort of did that, and now like that's the way I sort of like doing things. But yeah, and then the rappy sort of actually doing the music came, fuck man, you know, I was like 25 or something, you know, mid-20s. Like I'd never had anything to do with music. If I picked up a guitar or a set of drums, man, I wouldn't know what the fuck to do, you know what I mean? But had a couple of mates that were doing a few raps and all this sort of shit, and like having my thing, I was sort of encouraging them to be like, fuck yeah, let's push this. Like this is pretty good. We can make something of it. I was like, well, let's fucking have a go. Got into it as well. It sort of started moving. I enjoyed it, and
it just kept picking up momentum and energy.
Yeah, and it was just another way for me to express myself as well. Like it was ways to get like bullshit off my chest because I could write it down.
You're a very fucking artistic dude.
Yeah.
Like mentally artistic, not like not like artistically, mentally. Like you want to do the videos, you don't want to do the singing, you want to do the movies, you want to do the but at the same time, you want control. That's why the whole director shit. Like
I just think the way like my mind works, I think I can tell that story and make it effective, if that makes sense. Sort of. It's just if someone says, right, this is going on and we want the shot to like, you know, reveal that, and then it comes around and then we see them sitting there or whatever, I'd have a feeling my head would do it differently than a lot of other people, and the end process of that would be good. That sounds a bit wanky. But,
I know.
But that's that sort of thing that I've like learnt over the years, that like I do these things
it's
naturally.
A perfect example is we jump back to FMX. Everyone can go out and do a double grab.
Yeah.
But there was some dudes that did it different. It was the same fucking trick, but the extension was different, the angle was different, things like that. You can, and that's what you're saying. Like someone says do this and this, but in your head, you know, you do it differently to them.
Yeah. And I think I get a lot amongst it. I like real being into it, and you see a lot of other filmers and they're on that step back. I'm always in the danger zone, so like my vision is to get close.
You're either gonna love it or hate it.
Yeah, totally. And that's where I sit, like that's where I'm on that fence. I always try to sit on the fence, you know, just balancing on that fence. Yeah, love it.
You drop something you like, you're not comfortable with it. Like, this will get some traction. Instead, like people are gonna froth this, or people are gonna fucking hate it.
You're either into this and you'll be like, this is dope as fuck, or this will just be like not your style and like.
Have you had that happen before? Have you had that things where you've dropped shit and people have just been like, nah, not feeling it at all?
Well, maybe, but they might not have said it. I don't know. It's sort of weird. I always get a lot of pretty positive feedback, which is always pretty good. Like, not many. You don't really get much negative stuff, but
if you do, they don't say it to you, sort of thing.
Yeah, and I mean, because I've done so many different things too, I'd say there might get a bit of that, you know, like my original following was all FMX. So now that I'm putting out all these burnout things, there's probably a bunch of cunts going, well, this is
you're not true. You haven't.
This is not cool anymore, or this is not. I want to see cunts doing double flips. Like, why aren't you following these cunts around anymore?
Because no fuckers doing double flips.
And well, they are, but I'm just over it. Like, come on, I'm fucking.
You've got to cover all your bases, and that's especially being a filmmaker, like
evolve, I think. Too.
Yeah, and change from different things and do different shit.
Like, I like to be around things that are happening, like. And
in the moment, in the vibe of it,
it's fucking live, man. It's alive, and it's full of a lot of good cunts. And I mean, like with every industry, you got your good cunts, you got your fuck cunts, you got your dumb cunts, you got your shit cunts. But there's a lot of good cunts, and it's a real good. Well, I'm not
90% sure, but I'm pretty sure that at the moment, burnouts is the biggest growing sport, like going on in the globe at the moment. It's got the biggest following.
Well, what else is out there that's new and turning heads like that?
Well, it's not new. It's always been there. Like you had your Summer Nats 2 and 3, and it's just gone through now, and burnouts have become a thing.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, totally. I mean, it has. I mean, like I remember looking at fucking Street Machine magazines when I was like 14.
That's what I mean. But like burnouts back then were frowned upon. Now there's Facebook. Well, there's Instagram pages out there. There's a couple I know of straight away that have just started sharing skids, and they got like 40,000 followers in like 2 months. Yeah. Just because people froth skid, and especially because it's illegal, it's on the streets. You know what I mean? People get G'd up. It's that thing that people are getting into.
That could be part of it. The whole, you know, like because they are pushing to keep it off the streets, maybe everyone else is pushing it to make it more of a sport.
Yeah, but I think it also comes down to the bigger attention from like a current affair pump it now. You know what I mean? Every second week, Tracy Grimshaw's doing something on burnouts and hoons and things like that. Yeah, 100%. And it's sort of, she's built a following of haters that froth it and they just carry it on. They just want
more now.
Yeah, they just enjoy it. They're like, it's a rebellious thing. It's like, don't do skids on the street. It's like, watch this. And then they send it to them and it's like, and we're not condoning that you do skids on the street and you go out and be a dick, but we're just saying that it's getting traction, and it's a scene thing at the moment. It is a major scene thing. Like obviously Josh, Custom Car Slap at the moment, one of our good mates, part of the collective. He actually got me and you onto each other. He's been doing designs and things like that, and it's just the scene and the style he's going for is just going spastic. People are just but at the same time, he knows that ain't going to last forever.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
So, and this perfect thing of all the clothing brands back in the day that we all used to rock, and so did everyone else, and now they're dead. Dickies, Fox, you know, I mean, they're still there. They're always there because they're multi-million-dollar companies.
But there's
controversy
a lot that
sells.
There's a lot that
that's what I mean. They died.
Anymore. It's those true ones that sort of stayed there that have always kept a little bit up. But like it'll peak what goes up must come down.
So how do you plan on doing a path to getting towards doing this whole filming thing? Like you can't just go out, like you just don't call Warner Brothers tomorrow and be
yeah, I know, yeah. I wish it was that fucking easy because I'd be like, oi, Tarantino, I'm coming round and we're fucking doing a movie. But you can't do that shit. So I don't know, man, in all honesty, I think I'm just going to try and keep doing what I'm doing, man.
Let's say at the end of the year, Borgie goes out and does a couple of 10-minute edits that are completely different that anyone's ever seen before. How do you think people are going to interact with that? Are people going to connect with it, or are people going to be like, what the fuck, this dude's like lost the plot, or he's out of touch?
I guess it depends what way I go with them. But I mean, I think I've got a pretty niche following, if that makes sense. So like, most of my following are like
the diehards. UBC Perth,
Bogans,
you went down there.
Like they're Bogans, and I reckon we should claim it, but we're Bogans, man. Like we are, like my fan base and my following for MDP and shit, we're all Bogans. That's why we wear a little bit baggy shit, and it's like, so.
A little bit rebellious.
A little bit.
And I didn't really grasp the fact of it, and you G'd me up for Perth, and you're like, man, you're going to have the fans, you're going to have the people that do your head in that. And then when we're walking through the pits and that chick seen you started crying and shit, I was like, wow, this shit's real.
It gets crazy, man. And yeah, it's like, it's good though.
Yeah, but their niche, like that's, you need to, I'm not trying to be rude here at all, I'm not trying to be disrespectful. The niche market isn't where the money's coming from, you need the big market.
Exactly, and that's where I think if I did do something, I'd have to go about it in a different way and not go, I still wouldn't mind fucking around a little bit, getting a bit more practice in through my people, but then do something that's a little bit more of a step up.
Complete left of field. No one expects it.
Yeah, go to like Chop Fest or enter an actual small film thing where I'm actually presenting, who I am in front of people that matter. If that makes sense. Not just a Facebook crowd that are probably going to be into it anyway, if that makes sense.
You put a cool scene behind it, cool images behind it, they sort of
they're either on or off, like you said before, but like I need to go down that path where I'm impressing people that matter, that are going to go, fuck, this dude's good, I'm going to tell fucking, the CEO of this cunt, and we're going to work with him for the next.
And are you going to do this, or is this just still pipe dreams?
Well, that's a hard thing to say. I mean, I'm working at it.
Yeah, but you kind of got to do it. What happens if you have mad regret?
I'm not trying to regret anything though. I'm on that.
So then you're just going to have to do it.
I am.
You're going to have to do it while shit's hot, like 2-3 years.
Yeah, 100%. Well, that's sort of me plan, but at the same time, it is.
So there is a plan.
I've got a few.
Because you don't come across to me as a plan, dude. Like you're just a.
I keep a lot of my shit up in my head.
You just flow. You just go where shit goes.
A lot of it's in my head.
It is.
I've thought a lot of shit out up here. Yeah. And I think now that you say that, I probably realise that I might come across pretty.
It's not a bad thing. It's not a blasé. I've thought a lot of shit
through.
It's like you just make it happen. People don't. People sit there and plan on shit for years. You don't.
No, I don't.
It looks like you just make things.
I've been planning this for a long time, I think. And I think more that I realise,
it's coming to fruition
now. It's all seeing through. Like, sometimes I look at situations and be like, this is the sort of shit I dreamed of then. And it's a bit late now, but life came into play and some fucky shit happened, and then this come up to slow it down a little bit, but I still made it to that point that I wished for at that point back then. So I think I'm more, and in saying that too, I'm not really I don't, movies, that's like
pinnacle.
Older. Like when I'm older. I mean, I'm getting old, I'm 30 years old, but I still want to have a bit of a gnarly career before I work to that point.
Do life.
Yeah, I want, and even if it does come back to doing a bit more music, doing a bit more like just full on shooting some crazy shit with the right people and all that sort of stuff, just hyping a bit more of just living and doing mad shit and having fun for myself, and then hopefully while I'm doing all that, it's presenting me and my skills to be able to sort of work up to that point and be like,
you're just covering the groundwork.
Yeah,
you're just doing the groundwork, enjoying life, experiencing shit, and then hopefully in 5, 10 years,
hard.
you're like, I've done this, I know how to do this, I've made this mistake, I know not how to make the mistake, I know how to do this. This is what I want, let's do it.
Yeah, and I'm making a movie that's going to just blow everyone's fucking tits away.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
I really like it.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't mean when the plan thing, it just means like you're off the...
That made me click on like...
You come to me as an off the cuff dude.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
I mean, there's people out there that go, righto, I'm doing the Olympics in 2022, and for 4 years, they will do nothing but eat, sleep and breathe that and not have a life. But
I'm not that.
That's what I mean.
I'm not like fucking bang, but I still like
you have this here, but you're doing what everyone usually does in life, and you're doing the...
Yeah, but I still try and keep on that. It's only that I just sort of, there's that main hope, but I just like opportunity. Opportunity. Yeah, and like that's how I'm. I'm not.
I guess
Like
as a
for a long
grab
time, I did a lot of. I was like, woo, 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 you know. But now it's like, woo, 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 you know, feel me?
And that's life. That is life.
No, and you gotta. And I think doing that and understanding it makes things when you do get a little bit more on a roll smoother, because you got to just take it like that. Like shit happens, move on, next step. You know what I mean? So.
You wouldn't, 2 years ago, you wouldn't imagine being sitting here, neither would I.
No, not with all this shit going on,
exactly.
talking shit, sort of, and and especially like after sort of having a weekend away in Perth that was like pretty up there on like wild weekends.
Yeah,
just it was just a fuck. And I've done a lot of traveling and shit, but that was a good fucking weekend. You know what I mean? It was a good day. The day,
the
and
venue,
just it was a good time.
Obviously, UBC team gave us kind of free range, I guess you could say. We kind of just ran them up.
All access, if you will.
Yeah,
that's
we ran them up. The drivers were sick. The drivers were welcoming.
100%.
The fans were welcoming, like the crowd and things like that, and it really was. But when you go back to doing the videos and stuff, I remember the first time that I really watched your shit and I was like, wow, and that was not this year's, last year's Summer Nats when you did that edit.
Yep.
That went crazy.
Yeah, it did.
Is that something that you full sat there and thought on for like a long time to do? Because like that, in my opinion, that sort of, people knew who you were in the car scene, that you were sort of stuffing around with like Josh and us and things like that. But when you did that, you kind of did that solo and you kind of like was like, bam, I can do this shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I sort of do that too. I'm a bit weird. It's like if I'm stepping into the scene, I'll sort of like find my way, know what's good.
Put the flag in the ground and like, I'm here.
And then I'm gonna like kick the fucking doors down and be like, what's going on, cunts? This is what I do. How I is.
Pay attention.
Yeah, pretty much, I think. So like with that Summer Nats one, it was never really planned. It was always part of, I was doing that vlog anyway. It all sort of just fell into place, to be honest. But I did go half into it going, I've got to make this fucking good. If that makes sense. You know what I mean? I've got to get a bit of everything. I've got to make this fucking hit home with cunts. And because that was a fucking lit Summer Nats.
Yeah, that was. This year was a bit dismal. This year was dismal. We obviously left early. We all got kicked out pretty early. It was really dismal. But yeah, that when you did that, I think that's when people really took notice. And you're good at doing it, and Brad's good at doing it. Going to an event, and you have guys out there like Flinty and shit like that.
Yep.
They've been on scene forever. They're good at what they do, but 100%. What they do is they film the whole skid, the driver, give you the rundown, and then for the diehards, where you and Brad will do the whole random rare shit that people want to be involved in.
Yeah,
like the behind the scenes shit, the cars, you know what I mean, cars catching fire and sitting on the wall and things like that, and just the real. And I think people get in the vibe.
Yeah.
And that's what I think with that Summer Nats that you did, like the one that you did this year was still killer, but obviously the event was dismal, so people...
It was hard to...
There wasn't much hype after it. People weren't talking much after it, they were kind of over it, but when you did that first one, that was... Yeah, and I think that's when sort of people went, what the fuck, like who's this dude? And
yeah.
Where
I'm
did you come from?
Definitely sort of pretty
stoked
with the outcome of it. I was surprised. Definitely surprised.
You reckon?
Yeah, fuck yeah, man. Well, like... I got a fucking, I don't know, I'm pretty sort of chill like that too. Like, if I get 100 views, I'm like, fucking 100 cunts. That's mad. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but at the same time, who was dropping edits like that at Summer Nats? No one.
Well, yeah, no one.
No one was. No one, like, obviously, you have your Summer Nats edit the airs to TV and shit, but no one was doing anything of that.
Sort of like a mini movie, really, wasn't it?
It was, and that's why when you said you want to do the whole movie thing in a couple of years ago, I'm like, is that a setup?
Yeah.
Are you building up? Like, it's an event, you cover an event. Obviously, you'll probably do something completely left of field, like RoboCop or something like that.
Yeah, bro, exactly. That's what I mean.
Complete
I'm
left of field.
Actors, fucking the whole shit where
But the way that it was formatted, no one had done Summer Nats in like...
Yeah.
It was like a 40-minute video that was like, who sits there and watches that shit?
Documentary? Would you class that as a documentary?
People hate watching shit these days.
Yeah, fuck yeah, man. Attention spans like
I get like 13
max.
seconds into a video, and if I don't like the tune or half of it, I'm like, done.
Yeah, 100%, man.
And that's why when Brad does it for us, I always like the first 20 seconds, I'm like, is this engaging? Is the tune good? Is this engaging? Is this?
And they're all things you need to think about,
Brad's built a reputation and things like that, people know, and yourself, that we ain't just going to drop shit.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
No, well, fuck. He kills it. We all know that. Hey?
But it's getting to the point now where burnouts aren't just burnouts, they're becoming events, like full-fledged events with like crowds, lights, things like that. Where do you see burnouts evolving in like the next, I'm going to say 2 years?
I don't know. I mean, it could go anywhere. Like, I think they can evolve a lot, you know? Like, there can be... Like, the shit we did, I think, is a good part of it, you know? Like, last weekend at UBC, the whole, like... having a bit of a hype man rather than...
Creating a vibe.
So the fans are a little bit more... Obviously, too, it's a bit... Summer Nats and that, they toned everything down and sort of tried to make everyone a little bit less tame. But
but let's be honest, Summer Nats, the only thing that's, in my opinion, when I go to Summer Nats, the only thing that's really entertaining and like going to a concert or event is the burnouts. You know what I mean? Like when you got the top shootout car, the rest of it isn't.
Yeah, and like when you go to a concert and the security guards are pushing everyone back 2 meters, and it's a bit like everyone's like, this is not what we come to a fucking concert for. Yeah. We want to be up the front.
Obviously,
and
there's safety, there's rules, regulations. Obviously, last year was shit for burnouts, accidents, deaths, things like that. It was not good. Yeah. But I think a perfect way of explaining it. I remember years and years and years ago when I was young tuck, I used to go to FMX events. Yeah. And they were pretty cool. You know, I mean, there'd be a fair bit of shit going on. Yeah. And then you had Nitro Circus come through. Krusty. It was an event. Like lighting, sounds, like gates, venues, things like that. And I'm hoping that, especially with UBC, because the venue that it was at and the way that it was like, really, if we hustled and had some like direction with that and like had a lot more time to plan and knew what we were going to be into, we could have turned that into a fucking stellar event. Yeah, totally. Like we could, like people are still talking about it now. We could have really shut the gates.
There's a lot more you could do if you sort of sat down and had a good old brainstorm.
We kind of went there flying blind. It's like, hey, obviously Steve and Clint got onto us and they sort of said, come over, run amok sort of thing. And we're like, yeah, cool, run amok. But if we sort of went over, like, hey, we can run amok, but we can plan this shit. Yeah. We can do some cool shit. Yeah. Like we can really engage with people, engage with the drivers. And at the end of the day, it's always good to engage with the crowd. But the drivers 100%. Are what makes it, man. Yeah, and if the drivers aren't having a good time, no one's having a good time.
I think it's being able to link them two together, being the middleman in between the driver and the crowd. Yeah. So it's like you get up because this cunt's sick, and get out because that was sick, and they'll love it. You know, it's that because you know, like they like you know, we copped a few messages and shit, and the vibe that when you're out there driving. That's what you want to see, you know, and like you don't see that in a crowd of fucking 400 people, you know. So you're doing these skids and you got a couple of fireys that are fucking full stiff, waiting to fucking catch a fire. Fair, that's your job.
You can't see the crowd up on the hill. I remember a couple of times there was guys skidding at Perth, and like I was standing in an area. Where they would see me, and straight away, look, I knew they were lost. They were lost in the smoke. They were lost where they were. Yeah. All I did was give them a cue where they were. Like, yeah, sweet. And straight, they look rad, bang, go back out there. And then, you know, and they come past, they're clear, we're on the fence, like you're geeing them up. The crowd's geeing them up. And I think, the atmosphere of Perth was just something different. Obviously, Summer Nats has the same. Like, a lot of burnouts have the same, but I think the next 2 to 3 years, there can be really an opportunity for people to grow in like the burnout scene, actually making them events. Yeah, like,
totally. And I think you probably always bring a lot more to them. You know, there's always like you're always going to get that down. I think the biggest thing in the burnout thing is the whole like down, up and down on the scale. It's like 1 minute, it's loud, it's happening, it's smoking, and everyone's like, fuck yeah. And then if that car blows up, you're sitting around for 10 minutes waiting for it to get off the pad. So there's a lot of like, fuck, I'm standing around in the heat, I'm a bit over it. I think that's where there needs to be, you know, just something that's keeping the crowd going, you know.
Screens, hype, man. People on the pad
highlights,
side,
things
photographers.
Yeah, exactly. Something that's just, so there's something else to watch, whether it even be some sort of other act. Yeah. You know what I mean? But it's just, it comes out when there's something that's hit the fan and everyone's like, oh yeah, this is fucking going on. I'll watch that, and I've been distracted for fucking 5 minutes. Fuck, another car's coming out. Sick, we're back on. I think that's
a show. It is what it's keeping it a show.
Yeah, and that's what they need to, all the promoters and stuff need to start doing, is looking at it like it is a fucking show. It's not just like, hey, bring your Commodore down and we'll do skids all day. It's like, if you want to pull a crowd and make them want to come back, these cars are going to do it, but if you want them to come back, juice it up a little bit, fill it up, make it fucking
interact
awesome.
with the crowd, interact with the drivers, have shit going on during the... going back to it, like Nitro Circus, you know what I mean? It's a 3-hour event. It's packed. It's to the roof. You have the best action. Go home. You're not sitting around for 15 minutes, if you are sitting around for 10, 15 minutes waiting for shit to change, you know what I mean, ramps to be moved and things like that, there's some dude G'ing the crowd up, or there's things going on the live screen, or there's giveaways, or there's Mexican waves, and that's, I think, in the next 2 to 3 years, burnouts will hit that point. I hope we're a part of it.
Definitely.
I hope we, at the forefront of it. I hope what UBC, we sort of, the next morning after UBC, I guess the interesting thing for us was when drivers were commenting and putting up posts saying to have them dudes trackside, running amok, just G'd us up. I've never seen that before. You know what I mean? And we were having fun.
And if I put it this way, I think if we had a little bit more, we had all access, but say it was our job to actually G them up, and we're not fucking idiots. I'm not going to run out into the middle of the fucking pad while this cunt's hooking in. But as soon as he stops, there was some cunts I wanted to jump the fucking fence and run over and fucking get into it with them, So I think, and it's that sort of thing too, a lot of people, even when they do a skid, they might forget to jump out. I think the drivers need to remember that they're a fucking show. When you're going out there, dude.
Going back to day dot,
fucking own your shit.
They're expressing themselves.
Yeah, and
they're fucking, and it's like you expressed yourself. It was rad. We thought it was rad. Fucking killed it.
Get out. Give the fucking, the crowd a bit of a fucking how you going. And I think that resonates back to the crowd. The crowd's like, yeah, fuck yeah, And it's just that vibe is what you sort of want to look for.
If you have an event and it's coming up and you want a killer,
call us.
Yeah, you know who to call, because this is where we want to move with things. I think we could help play a big role, like obviously we did with Ultimate Burnout Challenge in Perth. You know what I mean? They gave us opportunity. We hope we gave them plenty, because they gave us plenty, and we're always appreciative. We'll be back to Perth for that, of course. Yeah, and if you have an event, it's not just a burnout event, you can make this an event and family event.
Totally, man, yeah.
It's not just about bogans and burnouts and mullets. You can actually build it up to be something
impressive as fuck.
Yeah, you are.
Your mum and dad will come and go, get the fuck out of here.
The level of cars these days, the level of drivers, that's the other thing too, is I don't think people understand at the moment, when you see some of them dudes steer, the power they got, the area they're working with, and the speed they're coming in with, that's fucking skill.
Yeah. And I think
that is skill every day of the week.
Footage, you can watch as many videos as you want, and it still looks fucking grouse.
Yeah.
But being there, hearing and feeling some of those cars it's like,
you get the rumble through your chest.
Holy fuck, is this cunt legit?
I had a perforated eardrum on the way home from Perth on the plane, dropping through the altitudes and shit. Yeah.
Well, where do you plan on taking Fatal? What's your plan there?
Well, I kind of do have plans, but I kind of don't. All this sort of fell into my lap. I didn't expect it to happen.
Yep.
I'm passionate. I like it.
Yep.
I enjoy it. I, in the future, want to play a big role as the main face of detailing in Australia.
Yep.
That's just, I actually, people just think I do it because I get some traction and shit. It's not. I actually like doing it.
Yeah.
How dudes just get in the zone and they switch off? Yep. I switch off when I'm in the zone doing it.
Yep.
Basil would know, because sometimes I'm just railing because I'm under the pump or things like that.
Yep.
But I just get in the zone when I do it. I want to travel overseas. I want to build a clothing company out of it. I'm building a clothing company out of detailing. How stupid is that?
Yeah, well, how'd that, obviously.
Because when I was younger, obviously I was sponsored, and I was getting flow and I'd get clothes and shit like that. I worked in a moto shop when I was younger, and I enjoyed all that. And I was always like, I want to run a clothing company one day.
Yep.
And then I started building the business got bigger, got traction, everyone was involved and things like that.
Yep.
And then I seriously just made some shirts for myself and things like that, and a few of the boys. boys frothed them, and then people were like, Brad was on the scene, so Brad sort of helped me reach out and break out to people. And then people started wanting to buy shit with detailing on it. And Josh obviously did a killer design, a logo, things like that. You've printed it, we've used good quality, and things are just, like, my phone blows up now for clothing. Like from Perth, I wore that camo hoodie, the only one you made. That's blown up. Like people are frothing it. Like so, I've built a clothing company inside of a detailing company, which is different.
Yeah, definitely.
It's really different.
Yeah. So, but I mean, that's what people like, a bit of different. That's what's probably.
But we've built a community.
Yeah.
Like myself, Brad, the collective, Trev, Josh, you, Narine. Like we have built a community of people. We share rad shit. We go to rad events. We all do good work at what we do. I think people are just taking notice. But at the same time, I think people think, oh yeah, they're doing rad now. Like this is shit. What I want to do. Like what I want to do in the next couple of years. Like
baby steps. Yeah.
Like this is like people are like, oh yeah, they're killing it. I'm like, nah. Like I'm not even on the map yet in my head. Like, I know what I want to do. Same as with you.
Toes are just hitting the water.
Yeah, and people are like, oh, you're killing it, you're doing this. And it's like, nah, in my head, like, I'm just in the field, like, tag me on, like, I'm ready to get it.
Yeah, sick.
So, but I have big plans. The clothing's huge, obviously. I'm obviously doing that shit with you recently. I really like doing the whole entertaining side of it.
Yep.
I enjoy that.
And like this, you end it, you
I
do a bit more of this.
It's an expression sort of thing.
Yep.
And I can show people, like I'm covered in tattoos and I got but I'm like, I've got a brain.
Yeah.
I can talk to people. I'm good at what I do. I run a business. I have a house. I have a family.
Yeah.
Your hair's getting caught up in shit. Brad's leaking me on over here. But yeah, I don't know. I guess for me, there's heaps of dudes that I know that went the wrong way and I was going to go that way and then I haven't. And I think a lot of people didn't expect me to go this way. And now I'm here, I'm like, fuck you, watch this.
Yeah.
Like I'm
going to... motivation.
Yeah, like I'm going to... I never expected it to happen. Now I'm like, well, I'm just going to keep stepping stones. And that's all, this is nothing that I want to do yet. Like this year I want to go to the States. But in saying that, I have a few big people behind me that if I didn't, I'd be fucked.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like Brad obviously helped me out, social media, getting on the map, things like that. He's talented at what he does. We've sort of played off each other. Daniel from Detail Central, he's been huge. He's pushed me and made me do a lot of shit. Trev lets me rent the shed, looks after me, does things like that. So I've really been around a good, legit pack of boys when, I've got a second chance. That's the best way I'd explain it. When I was riding bikes, I thought I had the fucking world at my feet and I was going to kill it and I was going to become a pro rider, do the whole lot.
We all did though, didn't we? When you're that age and you're doing that sort of shit. I think like not to be cocky and a wanker, I think if I actually had kept my head down and sort of stuck to it, I would have done it. I was mingling with the right people. Like I would have went the right way. And then I lost it. I fell off the map for a few years. I've built something again that no one expected. I'm getting traction with it. People enjoy it. I'm good at it, and I get to express myself. And I'm like, wow, I'm not fucking it up this time. Like I'm gonna, I'm sort of coming out. Like if you're above me, look out. If you're below me, well, I'm not in the same lane because I'm not worried about what you're doing. Totally.
So, and I think that's what's worked for me.
That's a good way of looking at things.
It is. Stay in your lane.
Fuck yeah.
I like it.
What's the whole, because like I'll put it straight to you, I'm like, I got a little bit of wog in me and I like things to be neat and tidy, but at the same time I'm also very dirty motherfucker. Like, do you just froth that clean or like, what's the go there?
Yeah, I am pretty OCD. Yeah, it is. It is I guess it's a perfecting something. I like perfecting something. Like if I'm working on obviously I can't perfect everything because you're not getting paid for it and shit like that. But when you are getting paid for the job that you are and things like that, it's perfecting something and getting the results, you know what I mean? And it's true, when people come in and see the shit, you know what I mean? You do a job, you've done a killer job, the person's pumped on it, they come in, they're like, fuck.
That's the reward.
That's part of the reward. Like for me, I'm already, obviously the cash in the hand, that's reward too. Well, it's like I've put the hours into it, I've done the thing, I've made it good. And I am very confident and I always want to try and outdo people. Like sometimes, like I've gone through periods where my work ethic has just been retarded. I've been through other times where, you know, I've sort of slacked off and took my time and shit like that. But it's hard, you know, yourself, running the business, being on social media, having a family, having a life, doing the whole lot. And it's like people that are out there that are killing it, like legit killing it on Instagram and that, like that's fucking hard. That's, they don't sleep.
No.
Like, and you might have a window that's this big and if you miss it,
Yeah, yeah. 100%.
Too bad. And the worst thing that I've learned in the last 2 years, as soon as you're killing it, you'll have them that come with you, which is good, the people that. But then you'll have the motherfuckers that just grinding your toes. Like they're trying to pull you, they're copying your shit, they're trying to pull you down.
Right.
And it's just like, that is a big learning curve. But now I think because I'm 29 years old and I've done life and that for a bit, I just don't care anymore.
Yeah, well, you see, it does in that sort of...
If I was 22, my feelings would be hurt and I'd be caught up in it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
It's like when you date a chick when you're like 19, you know what I mean? And she leaves and you're like, oh my God, she fucking left me, man. My life's going to end. And then you get older and you're just like, man, people get divorced and shit all the time.
Yeah, life goes on, pretty much. But yeah, that shit does come. And it will, especially like you said with the brand thing, I know we've already sort of had conversations, but yeah, you will get, you know, people that sort of steal your ideas, copy your ideas, and it does. Like when you're young in the game, very young in the game, that shit will fucking ruin you. It'll cut you to pieces. You'll be like, fuck everyone, like fuck this cunt. But you do hit a certain point where you sort of just realise, and you know, if anything, fuck it, take it as a compliment, flip the fucking bird and keep fucking walking in that lane. You know? And this is what you
and I've learned
you
that
stay in your lane and fucking, you know, copy what you see over there.
And I've learned that now. It's like, if my competitors and people like that, other people are digging what I'm doing something right. That is the best thing I learned. I'm like, if you 100%. People are following me and you want to do what I want to do, I'm doing something right. In the last 2 years, like the connections we've made and blown up and things like that, and I'm not being cocky about it because we've made genuine connections with good people.
Totally,
but it's because we've done good shit and they do good shit. And once you start doing that, you all get on a level.
Yeah.
And then somehow you just start panning out and working together. And like, you know what I mean?
Good shit happens.
Yeah. It's like, you do good shit, you're a good person, you're on good vibes. Oh, let's fucking, you meet over Instagram or you meet in person, you meet event, and you just start collabing and then like, what we're doing.
We wouldn't be doing what we're doing if it wasn't for what you were just saying.
Exactly.
And that's pretty much how it is, yeah. Like, and I mean, like in saying that too, like, you'd know, you're always, you get your on and offers, you get your bandwagons, you get your cunts sort of sneaking their way in and fucking hopping into that. But it is, when you do get a little bit older in it and a little bit more wiser, you can sort of pick those people,
I've been savage with cutting people off.
Well,
the last year,
because...
And I don't mean that in a bad way, and like you boys would understand 100%. I have had, like, we've had mates that have been tight and shit recently, like in the last year or two, that I thought were good mates and things like that. Yeah. I didn't like traits I had, I didn't like paths I got in, and I got savage and I just cut cunts off.
Yeah, well... What else?
At the end of the day, when they read out my tombstone, it's going to have my name on it and my death date and shit like that, not theirs.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you're bringing me down or I don't like a vibe you're doing or I think you're affecting me away, as rude as it sounds, like, fuck off.
Yeah, there's more out there. And and the more you get out there, the more you realise there is more to get.
Yes.
It's like, and it's
like years ago, I wouldn't have done that. I would have,
with this shit.
Like, years ago, I would have knocked around with someone I didn't like, you know what I mean, and been like, oh, I'm a bit shady. I'm talk shit to a couple of people, like, now I'm just like, you know, you've been ticking me off, I don't like you.
Yeah, catch.
Don't. And they're like, oh, but, and it's like, nah. Like,
no time. Because it's like, you gotta be buzzing with motherfuckers that are on the same level as you. And that's a big thing that, like, I've felt like I've learned as growing up. And that's another thing too, you know, like you could be so tight with some cunt and you're buzzing and it's on the same thing, but he sort of, you know, finds a little something else over here and you've gone this little way and it's like suddenly it's like, dude, we just can't do this anymore.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, it's no hard feelings,
and sometimes
but like, we've got to go this way now.
Sometimes it's a no hard feelings thing and sometimes it's like, they're like, you're a fucking dog and you're like, yeah.
Whatever, dude.
Too bad.
Yeah, like, okay.
If you're stressing on it and I'm keeping you up at night, I'm living in your head rent-free, too bad. Yeah, because over here, I've got my shit I want to do. I want to go here, I want to do this. I don't know. I think that's an age thing.
I think so too, yeah.
We've learned that with age, like just to
sort of getting to that point where...
Man, some of the setbacks I've had in the last 2 to 3 years in business and in life, if I was 22, man, I'd be fucking broken.
Oh yeah, gone.
Yeah.
100%. Like, and I think it's good. I think that, you know, it's always good to have that, you know, like that dream back in the day of killing it in that young cunt. But realistically, if you think about it now, you would have fucked that all up if you did make it.
I don't think like that. I don't want to think like that.
But we fucked up anyway. So the way I see it is like, now we learnt from that, so we build something real that we can keep, not go straight to the fucking top and then fall. Like, we sort of went,
people do.
It got to the, and was like, oh, we got a little bit distracted there. And then fucking, you know what I mean? So now it's like, well, we're not going to get distracted when we get halfway next time, because that will happen.
And we have responsibilities now. Back then we didn't have responsibilities. Man, when I was younger and I was sponsored, I was Ryan, I had no fucking responsibility. I was living on Vegemite toast and shit for during the day and Primus and shit. I didn't care. I didn't care because at the skate park, I had the kids that follow me. On MySpace, I had a decent following. I was good at riding. You obviously get the attention of people, you get the attention of girls and things like that. And you're like, I'm killing it. Like, I'm fucking killing it.
Good, dude.
And the dudes at top are like, you ain't killing it.
Yeah.
And then you get caught up in that, and then before you know it, you're smoking weed and doing fuck all, hanging out with the wrong people, messing around with the wrong shit, messing around with the wrong girls, and it's gone.
4 years have passed and you haven't fucking done anything good.
Like, I remember, like, I wouldn't ride for a few days, and I was one of them dudes, like, if I didn't ride for a few days, I'd lose flow. Like, my bike was dialed, I'd be... You know, you don't ride for a week, and you get back on the bike and you go to do something you used to be able to do every time and dial, and you're like, I can't do that anymore. And now it's the same as with work.
Yeah.
Like, you can't get out of that groove because it's hard. It's hard to get back to that groove.
It is, yeah, definitely. Once you're in that routine of, like, keeping it moving.
Back then, like, you had to do the cool shit and what everyone else was doing. Now, I don't care if it's cool or not. If it helps me and it motivates me, I'll do it. Like, I listen to podcasts. As gay as that sounds, like I listen to I read books.
You know what? That's the more people I run into that are actually more on like that level that we were just talking about that suits me and probably suits you because we're on that same sort of level. Most of those fuckers are listening to podcasts. Yeah,
I listen to podcasts. I read books. Music is a big influence. People, I have dudes out there that, you know what I mean, I suss out their shit and I froth them. I'm like, I want to be in your position one day. Like, I know that could be a pipe dream because they're like,
but pipe dreams are pipe dream is only like you can turn. It's only a pipe dream if you let it sit in the pipe.
Yeah, I know. But at the same time, a lot of factors come into it, like age, family, things like. If I was 22 and I had this mindset and I didn't have a family and a house and responsibilities, nah.
100%. Yeah. But are you ever too old? Really?
You're not too old, but it makes things harder.
It does.
It makes things a lot harder. Like,
never say never.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but life gets in the way, makes shit hard. Like,
it does.
Yeah. If I had this mindset, like, let's say 20 years old, if you could go back right now and tell yourself two things, what would it be?
Bro, that's hard.
That is hard. That's my foot area. 20 years old, so you're 30 now, you go back 20 years old, 10 years has gone past of bullshit, ups, downs, good things, bad things. What do you tell yourself? Only two things, and it's not like winning lottery ticket numbers and shit, dude.
Honestly, I'd probably go, one thing would just be like, first thing would be like, sort of like a double one, but it'd just be like, don't be lazy, just go hard as fuck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that sort of scenario and just drilling in my head that it's like...
Don't get caught up.
Well, more like, don't waste time.
Yeah.
Don't waste time. Well, yeah, what would you tell yourself?
Don't worry about people fucking with you because they're really not fucking with you at the end of the day.
Yeah.
How many people are still in your eye from 10 years ago that you still fuck with you heavy?
Yeah.
Besides family.
Yeah, there's only a select
handful.
They
fuck all.
Fit here.
Fuck all. You're caught up in the moment. You're caught up with what shit was doing. Yeah. That was that.
Good one, actually.
And
just don't really worry about
change. Embrace change.
Yeah, and
that'd be the biggest thing. Because I remember, like, I wouldn't OCD, but like I don't like big copious amounts of change. Yep. I mean, change is a heavy thing for me.
Yep.
Now through 10 years of change, I'm like, every time something changed, I thought it was bad.
Yep.
Like when I started Fatal, the dude, my boss at the time, had given me a couple of days a week to start this and like do it on the side thing. It lasted like 3 weeks, and he calls me and he's like, righto, you got to come back to work. The manager's upstairs, yada, yada. They're not happy with it, blah, blah, blah. You got to come back to work. I was shattered, and I was like, yeah, righto. Because like I was doing it at the back. I was low key. Fuck, I didn't have shit.
Yeah.
Went home. The missus was putting out my uniform to go to work, and I'm like, I'm not going to go back. I didn't even have a car booked in that week. Yeah, it was the biggest change I'd ever done. And
now just went for it.
Yeah. And within 6 months, everyone's like, oh, you'll never make it. You'll have to do car yard work, blah, blah, blah. Now they share my shit and wear my clothing. That is the kicker. That's where, if I had known that when I was 20, I would have been like, yeah, I don't know. The people I fuck with back then wouldn't always fuck with me. And some of them went really good paths, some went really bad paths.
Yeah.
And I guess the second thing would be, I don't know, really. Believe in yourself.
Yeah.
That confidence sort of thing.
Yeah.
if you think you can actually fucking do something at 20 years old and you're good at it and you have passion for it, fucking do it. Don't just wait. But just do it. If you lose 5 of your best mates because you want better and they don't want to be involved, catches. Like, they'll be there in 5 years' time if you fuck it up. Like, or they'll be in a shitty spot. But if you're good at what you're doing, you're young at the moment, and you're talented at it and you think you have, just do it. Mum, Dad might be like, oh, you want to be a rock artist and that, we want you to be a fucking tile. It's like, you know what? I want to do this. And for the first few years, you'd be shit. It'll suck dick. But I guess that's a success story that everyone...
Yeah, definitely. And I think being young, that is a massive influence, the whole, like, you know, in your fucking mind, you want something, but the people you're around don't.
Back then it was easier, but these days, people go from... You will not know who a motherfucker is, and then the next day they got 20 million people on Instagram. It's like it happened overnight. It's like that dude.
You know what it is these days? Like when we were growing up, we had the dudes in our local dudes. Fuck, that cunt might have been into soccer. That cunt might have been into fucking BMX. That cunt might have just been a fucking farmer. Yeah. You know what I mean? So you're a bit like, oh, but we're just going to hang out because we're boys. Yeah. Now you're on Facebook. You're in a group that just likes knitting. And fucking all these cunts that are frothing knitting are just like, yeah, dog, let's fucking... And then suddenly this fucking sick cunt knitter is the best thing in the world because he's already got 10,000 knitting fans.
Man, there's people now, I don't know if you said it or someone said it the other way, like there's people out there now that are like professional eaters.
Yeah.
10 years ago, it's like, I'm going to be a professional eater. It's like, cunt, you're a fat cunt. You need to stop eating food.
Get paid to go around and take photos of their food and shit. Like that's, and we're living in a different world, and I think it's...
Back then, people would do half like nudie photo shoots, and people would like lose their mind and be like, oh, you're a slut. Now it's like, where's the hose at? Let's come and do sell me some clothes. Yeah. Because it's just evolved into that.
Yeah.
But that's why I think social media, if you're young and you're 20 years old at the moment, and you're good at what you do, and you're talented at what you do, and you can use social media and you're good at it, no one can fucking stop you.
Yeah, you're fucking invincible.
Yeah, you really are. Yep. And you're going to lose a heap of mates. You're probably going to lose some family. You're going to probably lose some girls.
But you'll probably meet some fucking amazing people that will stay true as fuck to you. So those mates don't really fucking matter.
Yeah, and you go some rad places and things like that. That'll happen.
Yeah.
I think we're both appreciative of the situation that we're in.
Yeah.
The situations that we're going to.
Yeah. Man.
Like, as I said earlier, we've made some stupid connections the past few years, past few months. Even with people that I haven't personally met myself, I'm sure you've done the same, but like you just got a rad bond, you talk on Facebook, Instagram, you do the whole lot.
Yeah.
And I think maybe if this gets traction and people are enjoying it, that we should just keep doing it.
Yeah, definitely. Well, like, I'm fucking keen. Like, it's... Some of the shit, it ends up being half an honour to be half those places, like being out on the track, fucking meeting half those dudes. It's like top dudes and
I think what we really need to do and what we really need to emphasis on is going to events, helping the events absolutely run amok, get the exposure they need, you know what I mean? Build the crowd up, build the hype up, things like that. But then at the same time, I think we need to do segments where we do intimate shit like this, where we'll pick random drivers, or not even random drivers, random business owners.
Yeah.
Like there's business owners out there in my head I know that are just killing it at the moment.
Yeah, totally.
And if we can sit down with them, do one-on-one, dig into their background, dig into their mindset, dig into what they want to do, and with drivers like their futures and where they've come from and things like that, and put it across to people and see if people dig that shit. If they dig it, they dig it. If they don't, well, we know not to do that. We'll go a different route and we'll kill it that way and you'll keep watching.
Yeah. I think, I think it'd be, like, I'd sit down and watch that sort of shit. There'd definitely be a few dudes I'm a bit curious about, like, I'd even like to sit down with them and ask them a few questions myself, but I think you're in that sort of position where you do real well at this, and I think if you keep
it's because the only reason is because I find it engaging. Like, there's guys out there, as I said, like there's guys out there that run businesses now that I'm thinking of in my head that are just like come off from nowhere 2 years ago, and now they're killing it. They're good at their craft.
You're generally interested.
Yeah. How did you do it? What's your mindset? What's your work ethic? What else do you do? Where did you come from? Oh, you come from that background. Oh, no, you come from shit. You've built this yourself.
Totally.
That. And it's the same with drivers. Like, there's drivers out there that I'm intrigued with. Like, you hear people talk shit on people and, and they do this, or this is this, and they've come from that and that. But then that might not be true.
Yeah, you want your perspective.
And they just don't get their story out there because they don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Like, they're like, oh, well, if that's what you think on me, that's what you think on me, so be it. Yeah. But I think maybe that's something that we start doing and see if people enjoy yeah, you know what I mean? They enjoy the action side. We've proved we can do that. We've proved we enjoy that. They enjoy that. But what about the more intimate shit? More like, what about a couple of times throughout the year to sit down, talk with people?
Yeah.
And and if you guys have someone that you, or a couple of people that you think of that deserve to be sat down with and spoken to, like there's a few big guys in the burnout scene, OGs, I don't know, they probably won't want to talk on camera. It would be good to just get in an environment where it's sort of chill like this. You know, take your time.
Yeah, if you are a bit worried and they do approach you, don't be worried. It's all about being
There's a lot of things that we ask questions and we talk about that doesn't go to air, and we're happy to leave that shit out. But there's also guys out there, businesses that love to sit down and be like, you know what, you're fucking killing it. How are you doing it?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Totally.
And why are you doing it? Like, are you passionate about what you're doing, or are you just doing it because you're doing it?
Yeah.
I think that's, I don't know. I think that's something you guys need to decide. You guys need to tell us whether you want to see that shit, whether you want to enjoy it. Like, who do you want to see us talk to? Like, is this shit interesting? Are you motivated? Is it worth watching? Or could you just not give a fuck and you want to look at titties on Instagram or something? Like, engage with us. We want to know, like, there's already a couple of guys in our head that we know we want to deal with this year, that we're going to speak to and catch up with and sort of pick their brains, pick their lifestyle. I think that's cool doing that shit behind the scenes.
It is, man. Well, I think it's always been the most interesting side. You know, obviously it's hard these days because, like, with your socials, we're so in people's lives. But it's never really what you see on the Instagrams and the socials is never really the side that you're going to get. You know, you sit down and actually have a talk with someone, you sort of get a bit of a...
And they tell you a couple of things and you go, perfect example, talking to you, and you're like, I want to make movies.
Yeah.
I would have never, like, I want to be the director, I want to be the producer, I want to be like, I want to make like RoboCop, like Terminator, like, I want to be like that level. I didn't pick that.
Yeah, true.
I mean, if you had turned around and said like, I want to do like K&K film clips and like, you know what I mean, choppers, rap, the whole, I've been like, I can see, but intellect, I didn't know you were on that level, or that's what you were aiming for.
Yeah, and I think this level of chat and sort of chill makes it a lot easier to get all that sort of shit off my chest to you, rather than, you know, just doing an interview.
But that's not what it's about. It's about getting your head and your mindset to them.
Well, yeah, I guess that's the biggest part. That's what, totally.
Because they might turn around and go, oh, I've seen Borgies at UBC, he's this high, he's mad, he's got endless energy, runs around. But that dude's got a mindset. Like, that dude wants to think on shit. That dude actually has goals and shit. That dude wants to do that type of stuff. And people they might not have thought that, you know? People might sit there and go, oh, that dude just does detailing. It's like, no, I want to have a clothing company. I want to build a rad detailing business. I want to have, I have goals and aspirations that I want to do. I want to have a big future in other things. I want to get into entertainment now. Not entertainment, but more experiencing things with people and getting across to everyone else. That, to me, I can't find it sort of engaging. And I'm in the moment, it's working, people are engaging with it, I'm going to run with it.
Yeah, totally.
So, and I'll know when the spark's out, because the spark will go out.
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you for watching this, guys. This was pretty, like, just off the cuff sort of shit. Like, we're just in the shed. Got tomorrow's job behind me. Bought a $10 couch. This is going to be the new casting couch.
It's good. It's comfy as fuck.
But if you guys like this, let us know, because like there's seriously a few guys in our head that we want to go around Australia this year and see. But we're going to go to a heap of events. We really want to be involved with that.
Definitely.
And we thank the guys that have given us the opportunity to get to where we are now. But if you guys want to see us do this and talk to big business owners and talk to drivers and things like that, people that are killing it in their field and what they're doing, and dig a little deeper in behind the scenes, because that's the cool shit. Like, that's where you find out how people tick over, how people think, how people, and obviously it works for them. It gets them out there, builds momentum behind them. And but in saying that, thank you, Borgie, for being here with us.
Cheers for having me.
We're going to do a heap of shit this year.
Yeah, definitely.
So you're going to see our rough heads flat out this year.
Baby steps.
This is the beginning. Like, we're only just sticking our toes in the water. We've got some big shit coming. It's going to be a huge year. Thank you, everyone that supports us. And let's just kill it and keep doing what we're doing.
Fucking oath. Cheers, boys and girls and ladies and gentlemen and every cunt. Oops. That's a fucking wrap, I think.
Are we done? It just goes.
Should we do it again, or should we keep going?
Done?